The 911 ST is the first race car that was ever homologated by the Porsche factory, yet it remained a fairly obscure car up until a few years ago, when the backdating resto mod trend started gaining in popularity. To create the original 911 ST, Porsche started with the 911S, stripped out everything they could, and then installed the most powerful engine they had in their arsenal, turning it into an 1,851-pound car with 270 horsepower, which is pretty incredible. And the process for creating the new 911 ST is going to be very similar, except this time around, instead of starting with a Porsche 911S, Porsche will be starting with a 992 GT3 RS. To turn the car from an RS to an ST, Porsche will start by reducing the weight and increasing horsepower, and after that, a new gearbox and manual transmission will be installed. And to give the car a more subtle appearance, Porsche will remove the rear wing and spoiler and rear quarter panel intakes. And finally, the car will be fitted with retro-styled wheels. Basically, the new 911 ST will be a 992 GT3 RS that is lighter, faster, and has a manual transmission. So in other words, one of the greatest cars Porsche has ever made. Now, most people are speculating that the new 911 ST will be based on the GT3 Touring. So why am I saying it's going to be based on the GT3 RS? Well, there's a few reasons for this. If you look closely at the prototype of the 911 ST, you can see it has the wider front and rear fender width that is shared with the GT3 RS. And behind the front wheels, there is a camouflaged outlet that looks almost identical to what we saw on early GT3 RS prototypes. Also, we've seen this same move from Porsche back in 2016 with a car called the 911R, and what they did with that car was take a GT3 RS, give it a manual transmission, and then tone down the appearance by deleting the vents and rear wing, which is exactly what Porsche is doing with the new 911 ST. So here's the big questions with the new 911 ST. When will it be revealed? How many will be made? How much will it cost? What will the performance specs be? And will you have a chance to buy one? So this car will most likely be revealed at Rennsport Reunion 7, which is taking place between September 28th and October 1st. And I'm pretty confident about this because Porsche has already announced that there will be multiple major vehicle reveals at this event. And since the 911 ST is going to be introduced at the end of the 992.1 chassis production run, the timing is perfect. Now, as far as performance goes, since this car is based on the 992 GT3 RS, but is lighter, faster, and more aerodynamic, we should see some pretty good numbers. The current GT3 RS weighs about 3,270 pounds, and since Porsche has already done a lot of engineering to reduce the weight of this car, there's not much left to modify. But by removing the rear wing and spoiler and making some major changes here and there, they might be able to get the weight of the car down to 3,100 or 3,200 pounds. The GT3 RS produces about 518 horsepower, and I would expect Porsche to get that number up to 550 or 560. Now, the top speed of the RS is 184 miles per hour, which is actually pretty slow for a modern 911. But that car was designed for downforce instead of speed. So with all the modification and the huge wing no longer there to create drag, the 911 ST should be seeing a top speed closer to 205 miles per hour. And as far as production numbers go, we can expect this to be a very limited production vehicle. And if I'm being optimistic, I would say Porsche is going to produce 1,970 of them, since that was the first year the 911 ST was produced, or 992 of them, since it's a 992 generation vehicle. But it will probably be more like 500 or less, and we can expect the sticker price of this car to be around $250,000. Chances are these cars will all be pre-sold, and what that means is, while the car is still in the prototype phase, Porsche will reach out to its top customers and give them the option to purchase one long before the public ever knows this car exists. This is something Porsche likes to do with their most desirable limited production cars as a way to reward their best customers. So unless you are one of Porsche's top customers, buying a new 911 ST will probably not be an option. Now I hope I'm wrong about all of this because this is a car that I would love to own, but I think it's safe to say that these will be extremely limited and all of them will be pre-sold. But regardless of whether I'll be able to own one or not, I am extremely excited to see the new 911 ST be revealed. Thanks for checking out this video, and for more automotive content that you cannot find anywhere else, click here to subscribe.